All right, let's move on and get going with the show then. And now on the technicals, we're joined by Kapil Shra, technical analyst, MK Global Financial Services, who's joining us on the technicals. And from our research team, we're joined by Ravinder. Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's get going with all the stocks. Then the first stock that is in focus is Blue Jet Health. Now, Blue Jet Healthcare's offer for sale, or OFS, is going to open on the 10th of September. This is for the non-retail investors, and on the 11th of September for the retail investors. Now, the sale is being conducted by promoter Akshay Bansari Lal Arora to meet the minimum public shareholding requirements. Now, the OFS will offer up to 59.3 lakh equity shares, representing a 3.42% of the total issued and paid up equity share capital of the company. Now, with an option to additionally sell 59.3 lakh shares, equity shares, representing a 3.42% of the equity share capital. Now, if the oversubscription option is exercised, the total offer size will represent a 6.83% of the company's total share capital, and the floor price of the OFS is set at 675 rupees per equity share. On the back of this offer for sale and selling of equity stake by the promoter, the stock is declining away in trade.
Okay, so let's also put the spotlight on Electra Green Tech then. Kapil, you've picked up this stock for us. Tell us, what do charts indicate for this counter?
So, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. So we have seen that the automobile stock has moved up quite a lot, but that automobile sector was a kind of a personal mobility side. But whereas Electra that I am observing, so of lately it has started to pick up the momentum, and the key is that this particular stock has been structurally with a positive momentum. From past two occasions, the stock is correcting down by 55 to 60% in between. So recent correction was a 55%, followed by a couple of months consolidation batch and fresh breakout now. So I find that the earlier trend that has been gone by, the intermediate correction has happened. Now the stock is resuming its an upside momentum. So right now the stock is a 3% of 1616 level. So this stock seems to be a buy opportunity in the range of current level to the 1570 level. Stop loss can be around 1540, and on the higher side means 1750 seems to be a target in this.
Understood. So that's as far as Electra Green Tech is concerned and the technical view coming in on that counter. But let's also put the spotlight on Oracle Financial Services then, and their global parent reported a very strong set of numbers yesterday, because of which its Indian arm, Oracle Financial, is also up nearly 10% today. Now remember, total revenue saw an uptick of nearly 12% in dollar terms and 11% in constant currency terms. And as far as the order book is concerned, that stands at about $455 billion US, which is an uptick of a solid 360% on a year-on-year basis in dollar as well as constant currency terms. We also had some important commentary that came in from the management, where Oracle CEO said that they've signed 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts with 3 different customers in the first quarter of this calendar year. And they also said that multi-cloud database revenue from Amazon, Google and Microsoft grew at an unbelievable pace of about 1530% in the first quarter. So very strong commentary and numbers reported by Oracle, the global parent, because of which Oracle Financial Services is also gaining nearly 9% in trade today.
All right, that's Oracle in focus. But Ravinder, Indus Tower is also in focus on the back of a brokerage note. Take us through what does the brokerage say?
Well, yes, Indus Tower is in focus, where Kotak Institutional Equity have come out with a note on Indus Tower, and they have upgraded the stock to buy from the sell rating and hike target price rupees 400 as compared to earlier target price rupees 365. They believe that the concern around uncertainty in payout and capital allocation with its African foray are overdone, and the extensive lower additions phase is behind for the Indus Tower, and they expect a gradual uptrend in the tenancy ratio to drive 8%, 10.5% EBITDA EPS CAGR over FY25 to 28. And in Kotak base case with VI's gradual network rollout, Indus will resume dividends, 90% payout, 7% yield in FY26, and investment in Africa should be gradual and measures leveraging Bharti's leadership in the selected countries. So back of this stock is up approx 1%.
Understood. So several stocks in focus, and we also discuss Indus Tower and several other stocks. But let's also put the spotlight on HDFC AMC then. Kapil, where do you see the stock headed from the current levels?
Yeah, the HDFC AMC, basically we have been seeing that due to GST rationalization and tax cut in personal tax services, there can be a boost to the consumption. But yes, by the same time, there can be a financialization of savings, which is the things going on. So we expect that the AMC's categories can be one of the major beneficiaries out of it, and HDFC AMC has been a quite established one. Technically, 5780 is the current level. We have been seeing after the intermediate correction, stock has started to pick up the momentum once again, ironing out the immediate hurdle points. So this previous momentum can continue to be more on the high side, and in a very short term, the 5900 seems to be it's an upside momentum, and on the lower side, the 5700 above, it remains in the positive zone.
All right, moving on then from HDFC AMC to the life insurance space that is in focus in the back of brokerage notes that have come in, one by Nuvama. Now, Nuvama says that the private life insurers' individual APE growth has come in flattish as at just 1.3% on a year-on-year basis, while LIC has clocked in a 5.1% year-on-year decrease. Now, they believe that the growth for August 2025 came off due to demand postponement as buyers expect a GST rate cut. Now, for FY26 TD, individual APE market share for private insurers surged to 70.4%, which is a 216 bips year-on-year growth. And the market share gain has been highest for Aditya Birla Life Insurance, and which is 85 bips year-on-year basis, and HDFC Life at 74 bips on a year-on-year basis. Now, while in the long run, the GST exemption on individual business will support demand in the short term, the companies will need to rework pricing process and partly absorb the pass-on margin hit due to the loss of ITC margins that are being expected to face some pressure, with SBI Life likely to be least affected. The top picks remain HDFC Life with a target price of 920 and SBI Life with a target price of 2,250. And as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned, they are maintaining a hold call with a target price of 2,190. Motilal Oswal has also come out with a note, and SBI Life and HDFC Life, both like Nuvama, are their preferred bets from the sector.
Okay, so that is as far as life insurance stocks are concerned. They continue to remain in focus on the back of their operational data for the month of August. But Kapil, you've picked up Indian Bank for us. The stock is holding up with gains of nearly 3% today to trade near that 690 mark. Where do you see the stock headed in the short term? 720, 730 on the cards, is it?
Yeah, the Indian Bank. From past couple of days, we have been seeing that the struggle in the financial bank nifty, and within the bank nifty, if we compartmentalize the PSU banks and private banks, so PSU banks somewhat they are gaining a further traction, and Indian Bank from the PSU bank has been one of the leading stock price performers. So right from the 689 is level, it is a stock is trading at an all-time high level, and around the each and every resistance level that has remained an obstacle for a time. So that is showing the bullish continuation sign. 690 is the level, and as you said, that means it has an upside potential near about by 720 level on the high side, and this premises will hold true as far as stock is above 678.
Understood. So that's as far as Indian Bank is concerned. The stock is holding up with gains of nearly 3% today. But let's also put the spotlight on the telecom sector and Vodafone Idea in particular. And there is a fresh news piece over here where Vodafone Idea has once again filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court, and they are now challenging Department of Telecom's revised AGR dues calculation. Now remember, this is not the first time they've approached Supreme Court. They've done that in the past as well. But yet again, in a fresh respite that has come in for the stock, they've done this. DOT had raised a demand to the tune of 2,774 odd crores. This is from the year FY19 to the current year. And Vodafone Idea says that there are duplication of amounts, and they are seeking reconciliation of this amount. And the dues, reconciliation of this dues is likely to begin from pre-2017 period. So they've once again gone and filed a writ petition with the Supreme Court for this, and the stock is gaining on the back of this news.
All right, moving on to the next counter that is in focus, and that's Sterling and Wilson. Now, Rabinder, tell us what's the news flow here.
Well, Sterling and Wilson is in focus. The company has announced that they have received a letter of intent from leading private IPP for a BOS EPC package for development of a 300 megawatt AC and 420 MWP DC solar PV project along with 220 and 33 kV pooling substation in the Rajasthan. And the total value of the contract is approximately 415 crore, including O&M and taxes. And commenting on this, Mr. Chandra Kishore Thakur, who is the global CEO of the company, company said that this order is a testament to the company's strong execution capabilities, and they continue to build on gross order inflow, which has exceeded rupees 2,400 crore this year. So back of this order win, Sterling Wilson is in focus, and the stock is up approximately 1%.
Okay, so that's Sterling and Wilson for you, but let's also put the spotlight on Nestle. The stock is up 1% to trade near that 1213 odd mark. Kapil, tell us technically how does the chart look at this point in time?
Yeah, Nestle, we have been seeing that many of the FMCG products or the food products that have picked up the momentum, and Nestle has a little bit lagged, but now it is catching up the momentum. Right now, the 1213 level is there. Technically, we have seen that this stock has moved above the short to long-term moving averages, gaining some short-term of momentum. And now, with a stop loss of 1180, we are bullish on this particular stock. And on the higher side, from the little bit positional perspective, if you want to see, 1320 is the level, or intermediate target can be the 1280 as well.
Moving on to the next counter that is in focus today, and that is Bikaji Foods that is in focus. Now, Bikaji Foods is in focus on the back of the fact that the Enforcement Directorate has summoned Bikaji Foods Managing Director in connection with the investigation into the Rajasthan Premier League, according to an exchange filing. And on the back of that, Bikaji is in focus today. It has recovered from the day's lowest point, actually, and currently seeing some buying action, trading up with gains of almost 2% in trade.
Okay, so that's Bikaji Foods for you. But Glenmark Pharma from the pharmaceutical space is also on Kapil's radar. Tell us, so what is the new, where do you see the stock headed from the current level?
Yeah, pharma sector in a current context, we have been seeing this slowly and steadily. It is in a gradually moving, upward moving sector that we are seeing, and Glenmark has been a very strong performing sector earlier, but after the intermediate correction, the stock has stalled at its long moving averages, and now forming the base, it is trying to gain the momentum. So right now 2125 is the current level, with a stop loss of 2040. We are bullish on this particular stock, and on the higher side, the previous peak, which was around the 2280 level, which seems to be upside potential.
All right, moving on then from Glenmark Pharma, Shesha, you've also picked out Vikram Solar for us. Tell us what's the news flow. Why is Vikram Solar in focus today?
Well, yes, it reported its first quarter numbers. It recently got listed, and this is the first time it reported its numbers after getting listed. And very strong set of numbers that the company has reported, because of which, in fact, it has given up some of those morning gains, but despite that, holding on to gains of nearly 4.5% as we speak. Now, revenue saw a jump of about 80% on a year-on-year basis to come in at about 1134 odd crores. Profit after tax saw a jump of a solid 5 times on a year-on-year basis, and margins meanwhile were steady at about 21.5%. Now, the management guidance for the future quarters continues to remain very positive. They expect strong growth to continue for the rest of this fiscal, driven by 4x capacity expansion, solar cell backward integration, and about 11 gigawatt of order pipeline that the company is sitting with. So very positive result setup that the company has reported, because of which the stock is in focus and gaining nearly 5% as we speak.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. With that, it's a wrap. Ashish and I will also take a leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Market action continues on ET.